Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. Got another Oktoberfest beer, so this might actually end up being like a mini series, sort of similar to when I did the winter beer playlist last year, which I might do again this year. But I deleted a lot of videos, Clueless drink reviews that I did on my main channel, which is a film channel, mainly because any beer that I could easily get hold of and would be happy to revisit, I'd just delete that review and come to it. And I can't remember if I actually reviewed this one last year, but I definitely reviewed one of their beers and didn't bring it over to the channel. So I'm not too sure what went on there. But it's from the Spaten Brewery, which is part of Spaten-Franziskaner-Bräu, who of course part of AB InBev. And yeah, I've seen a few British beer reviewers reviewing the like Spaten like premium Helles or Pills or that sort of thing, but I'm not too sure what the availability of this specific Oktoberfest beer is. Maybe some shops do have it. Maybe they've got an exported version, sort of like what Hackashaw does, and like Paulaner, their Oktoberfest beers. But yeah, one from Spaten, which is a brewery that the beers I've tried I've not been too impressed with. But these guys are coming out of Munich, and this Oktoberfest beer, well, yeah, it's got the British word for beer on a British word. It's got the English word for beer as well as multiple languages of beer. Not sure if the video quality will allow you to see that writing, but yeah. So I'd imagine this is potentially easy to get hold of. But anyway, this one is clocking in at 5.9%. So yeah, the second Oktoberfest beer that I've tried this year. And just like what I was talking about in my Hackashaw review, if any of my audience happen to be German, is when the Oktoberfest beers come around, is it sort of like when the pumpkin beers come around in the States? I don't know. It's that similar style that seems to arrive a lot earlier than it should do. I don't know. But anyway, let's get into it. Looks very Bavarian, as you would expect, with the Bavarian flag. And I'm using this glass today, which I've not used for a while. It's a little bit fun. But yeah, I picked up this and the Löwenbräu Oktoberfest beer, so I'll be reviewing those tonight. Not that it matters, because I'll be uploading these throughout October, obviously. But yeah, pretty much every supermarket, discounter, that sort of thing you go into will have some sort of fest beer or Oktoberfest beer. But yeah, beer in a glass, and it's a nice golden colour, slightly more a bit orange maybe. Not too dark though, it's not like a sort of like caramel colour like you do get sometimes with these Oktoberfest sort of beers. But that tends to be with more like Oktoberfest Märzen styles. But yeah, nice golden. It's got a nice amount of volume to it in terms of colour. It's not too faint. Carbonation is nice, but of course you can't really see too much because of the etching on the glass. And the beer poured with about one finger's worth of foamy white head, so it's more of the sort of Helles territory in terms of appearance. So anyway, let's give it a little bit of a sniff. Pick up malts, got a slightly sweet scent to it. More honey than like a caramel sort of aroma, I'd say. There's like a slight citrus there. You get a little bit of straw, a little bit of grass. Sort of like a very slight damp hay sort of aroma. It's got a like sense of dankness to it, a sense of like a damp cellar maybe. But then this like very slight citrus character comes in nicely, and there's a really nice grounded sweetness there as well. And then there's like a little bit of a kick right at the back on the aroma. Doesn't smell too bad, which is a good sign. So let's see what it tastes like. Prost. I'm getting a slight hop character there. Not unlike terms of a Pilsner, which I find a lot more hoppy than Hellas beers. But it's a little bit hoppier than most Hellas beers. It's got that slight hop character. But the predominant flavour I'm getting is a nice sweet malt. Not too sweet. Not like sugary sweet. Not caramel. But just a nice like sweet biscuit malt sort of flavour. But that sip, I got more of a slightly savoury sort of malt character, like a barley, sort of like when you get a barley soup mix, like dried mix to put into soups, that sort of thing. It's got a nice savoury, slightly earthy edge to it. Slight sense of creaminess. It's not like a heavy body by any stretch. Lower to medium, more towards the medium on the body. That carbonation actually really doesn't come into play too much, so it feels a little bit more velvety, a little bit more creamy than most beers of this style, which adds a sort of like sense of weightiness to it. But it's crisp, it's clean, it's refreshing, it's a first quencher. It's just one of those simple beers that is perfect for the occasion, for the Oktoberfest. When you sat outside, you know, you've got like your sausages, or you've got something nice and salty, like a salted pretzel with some Emmentaler or Bergkäse, that sort of thing. That's what this beer is for. It's a casual drink, a little bit more malty, a little bit more seasoned, slightly seasonal as well. Very slight autumnal notes on the beer, which actually puts it a little bit different to what I remember this being. I remember this being not as good last year, but this is nice. It's nothing amazing, nothing too special. It's pretty much a typical Oktoberfest style beer, but slightly more like sweet biscuit, ever so slightly cakey. But yeah, well-rounded, simple, crisp. You could session on this, even though it is 5.9%, so it's not as light as some of the other ones out there. But yeah, not too bad at all. Very pleasantly surprised by this one. So in terms of a rating, I'd happily give this one an 8 out of 10. Yeah, nice, very slight bitterness on the back end. And that just tops it off nicely. And yeah, this is one of those beers where if you sat outside, you'll find yourself like within a couple of hours you'll have sunk 5, you know, glasses of this. That's the sort of beer it is. It could work in, like, it's still quite warm here in Germany, so it's going to work perfectly for that. But when it gets a little bit more chilled, a little bit more calmer and cooler, those malty, cakey, sweet tones will come in and, you know, just warm you up a little bit. But yeah, not too bad. 8 out of 10. So if you've tried this one, let me know your thoughts and opinions. What's your favourite Oktoberfest style beer? It doesn't have to be a German one, because I know these are very popular in America right now. And yeah, give me some suggestions for beers that I should try in the future. So check out the Oktoberfest 2016 playlist down below. Check out the links to the more information about this beer and the brewery in question. A big shout out to Christian BrewBear, who also does, well, yeah, I don't think he's done it for quite a while now, but he also did an Oktoberfest series of beers, and I know he likes his, you know, German beers as well. So links down to Christian BrewBear. Check out the Oktoberfest playlist, and yeah, I hope you'll join me for another one. Thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later.